Hello and Merry Christmas. For today's video, I want to talk about the time that I almost died. And I know it's a depressing topic, but it's because the only reason I'm alive today is because God saved me. And hopefully this video will help you improve your faith. My fingers are frozen. I can't move them. I feel like I'm about to die to this view. I can't move my fingers or my feet. So cold. It was November 30 when I decided to climb Mount Toubkal with my dad. And it's not a very difficult mountain, but the thing is we went midwinter. So the temperatures were very, very cold. It got to negative 10 degrees Celsius and I had clothes prepared for 10 degrees Celsius. So you can already see how I was in a bad position. And me being the competitive guy that I am, on the second day to climb to the top, normally you were supposed to start at 3 a.m. to get to the top, but me and my dad had to go at 5 a.m. since the guide was still asleep. So I decided I was going to challenge myself by forcing myself to be able to reach the top first with 2 hours behind. And so while everyone else was walking, I hiked max speed. I didn't have any water, I didn't have any food since we left the bags in the refuge. So I speed ran compared to everyone else, and I forced myself to eat blocks of ice which were like surrounding me as a source of water since I was that thirsty. And I had no other way to get water, so I forced myself to eat ice. And we got to like the top 10 when I saw everyone, my dad was slowing down and the guide was slowing down, everyone was slowing down. So I decided I was gonna go by myself at the hardest part of the mountain and climb. And you might think that that's the part that was dangerous. It wasn't. I managed to get to the top. I was the first one at the top, and that was the issue. My hands and my feet were freezing. They were freezing. And the biggest issue is I don't know if you know what a crampon is, but it's like this little metal thing that you put at the bottom of your feet so you can climb on the ice and not slip. I had those. The issue is that my feet are giant. I have a size 48, and the max size that the crampons were 45. So when I got to the top, I decided my feet felt so frozen I was gonna take them off and check what was up. I was wearing white socks. When I took off my shoes, they were red. I was bleeding so badly because the hook of the crampon was sticking into my foot, and that forced me on the 3 hour hike that we were on to start bleeding. My feet were bleeding when I reached the top, and so I took them off and I see my foot is frozen because the blood froze. So my sock is frozen and I couldn't even take it off, and I can't do anything because I'm forced to wear the crampon. And I'm at the top alone. My hands are so frozen they can't move anymore. I lay down in the ice and I feel on the verge of death. I tell myself this is how I'm going to die. My hands are frozen. I'm in the dark, pitch dark, and I honestly thought I was going to die. I couldn't do anything to warm up my body since my hands were too frozen. Let me actually bring this to something else. You know that test that people say how to make sure your hands aren't frozen, you have to touch your pinky with your thumb to make sure you're not going to get frostbite? I couldn't do that. My hand was frozen, stuck. I couldn't even move my fingers. So you can imagine I was in a very bad situation, and I was guaranteed to get frostbite. And so as I'm laying there, the sun comes up, but it's too late. The heat wouldn't get me in time. So I do what any normal human would do. I prayed. I asked God to give me the strength to be able to survive until someone can help me. To give me the heat until someone could help me. And the second I did that, you know what happened? I felt of like a literal swarm of heat storm my body. Like literally under my vest, I felt heat like soothe my body, and my fingers were back to complete normal. I'm so serious. I'm not kidding. I'm not over exaggerating at all. My hands were frozen and I was able to move them like that. And that's when, at the corner of my eye, I see the next two people that are climbing up the mountain. And then they see me, and these two people give me water, they give me food, and they help me back to like good enough health to be able to climb back down. I was so sure I was gonna die, but I was able to make it. And if it wasn't for that couple and me praying for the heat that helped me survive, I would be dead today. And as you can see in the clip, I was there from dark till the sun rose. So I had to wait like 20-30 minutes for someone to come up. I was that ahead of everyone else. And that helped me improve my faith so much. I was already pretty religious, but that made me realize how important religion really is. And I hope that experience helps you realize that God is real and God is great. And God will help you if you want the help. So thank you for listening to me rant about me almost dying. And I hope that you find God for yourself. Have a great day and another Merry Christmas.